With the Destroy Humans remake coming out, many fans have wondered if Destroy Humans 2 will be getting a remake. Now, while it's not confirmed, I think it will happen, especially since the remake of the first game sold more than THQ Nordic had originally expected. Today's video will be a wish list of ideas for the Destroy Humans 2 remake if and when it happens. I've come up with some ideas of my own, and we will also be looking at some ideas that were brought up by some other people on Twitter. First off, no rush for the game. Let the devs work on it for as long as they need to. Delay the game if they have to, even. And maybe don't release it for the PS4 or Xbox One. By the time this does get released, the PS5 and Series X will probably be in a lot of people's homes anyway, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. But yeah, keep it on the new systems. We don't want to have another cyberpunk situation. Better environment. The remake of Destroy Humans added daytime and nighttime to specific maps. The time would be different depending on what mission you're playing, or it would just choose a time at random when loading the world. Since DH2, spoilers, the mothership was destroyed, there would be no way to go and reload the map, or choose a new mission. To solve this issue, the devs could implement a day and night cycle. Another thing that would be cool would be weather. Having it rain in Worlds or snow in Tunguska would just add more life to the game. But I don't know how this would work, since Crypto suffers from just having his toe touch water.
I guess water can outsmart bullet. Crypto on 3-7 is dead.
While we are on the topic of Tunguska, Aaron on Twitter brought up the idea of having more realistic snow in Tunguska. I'd imagine this would act kinda like how the snow is in Red Dead Redemption 2. Another thing that was a little disappointing about the original DH2 is the fact that Solaris had the same gravity as Earth, despite the fact it takes place on the moon. Hopefully the devs lower the gravity on Solaris in the DH2 remake. It will definitely make for some crazy gameplay moments. Customization. The DH remake featured skins, however they were limited to just Crypto. There were no saucer skins like Path of the Furon and Big Willie Unleashed had. Well, for Big Willie Unleashed, it was just for the cloak. More skins for DH2 remake would be a great addition, and also including skins for the saucer would be great. Another customizable aspect I would like to see is the weapons. It'd be cool to turn on and off the upgrades. For example, in the first game's remake, there's an upgrade for the ion detonator that makes the game go slow motion every time you blow something up with it. Now while this is cool, it does get repetitive and annoying since it happens through every single explosion. It would be nice if we could disable this. And the same applies to mental abilities. There's an upgrade for Extract that makes the extractions spread to nearby people and then have them fight each other. It's great, but you can't turn it off after you buy it, so that sucks. It would be nice if we could do that. Speaking of weapons, Star Wars Josh Smith brought up the idea of weapon skins. Some of these include the Predator's disc launcher for the dislocator, and Killer Clown's popcorn gun for the ion detonator. He also mentions that simply just changing the color of the disintegrator ray's shots or Zap-O-Matic's lightning would be cool. And I agree too. Another thing that he mentioned in the article was having skins that relate to the invasion sites. Perhaps this could be a hippie for Bay City, a British spy for Albion, a ninja for Takoshima, maybe a large winter coat for Tunguska, and a Blisk-type skin for Solaris. Another idea that Aaron on Twitter had was for specific parts of Crypto's suit to be customizable. This sounds pretty interesting. Multiplayer. Destroy Humans 2 had split-screen co-op, which was great, but was limiting. You couldn't go too far away from each other due to limitations of the hardware. With current technology, this shouldn't be an issue. An improvement for the co-op would be to increase the player count to 4 players, and also let you play online and split screen. Having it be online should be similar to Saints Row, where you could just join a game whenever. Star Wars Josh Smith also suggests that there should be more mini-games for multiplayer, such as a cat and mouse minigame where one player is in the saucer, and the other player is on foot trying to take down the saucer. This reminds me of the Gladiator mode, which was from Path of the Furon. And for whatever reason, that mode was exclusive to the PS3 version of Path of the Furon. I'll link his article in the description because it's a really big article and you should read it for yourself as well. Missions. In the original Destroy Humans and original Destroy Humans 2, once you fail a mission, you have to restart it from the beginning. In the remake, checkpoints were added. For DAH2, this will be great, especially for all those escort missions. And trust me, there were a lot of them. And those defend the tent missions were so annoying as well. So, checkpoints would be great in that mission. Or those missions, I should say.
Rocket coming through!
Another thing that was added to the Destroy Humans remake was optional goals, which would give you more DNA and even skins for completing them all. It would also be cool to have this in the DAH2 remake. But except, instead of getting more DNA, you would get more Furotech cells for upgrades. Unless they decide to keep the DNA system, in that case more DNA to you. But I doubt they will be switching to the DNA system again, just because they want to stay true to the original, if they are doing this. Something else they added is the ability to replay missions. I absolutely love this addition to the remake. It adds a lot of replayability and saves a lot of time. Back when I did those comparison videos for all the trailers, I had to sit through a lot of the game just to record a specific scene, and if I messed up with one of them, I'd have to start over from the beginning, or from the beginning of the mission. I hope they add mission replayability, but not just for the story missions, but for odd jobs and Arc Food Occult missions as well. And they should also group the odd jobs together, because there are a lot of assassination type of missions and ruin life type of missions, so it'd be nice to have them all in a similar folder or something like that. They should also add challenges to DAH2 like the first game had, like Mayhem, Abduction, those types, and maybe even come up with some new ones. Star Wars Josh Smith suggests that Gastro should have his own set of side missions, and there's a whole lot of Gastro information that he wrote in his article, but it's a great read. New hardware capabilities. The Xbox Series X and PS5 are now out, and they are much more powerful than their predecessors. This can lead to great things with a DAH2 remake. First of all is the SSD. Both the PS5 and Series X have been shown to load games insanely fast. Just look at the new Ratchet & Clank game. No loading screens, and you're just going through different worlds in a matter of seconds. With the speeds of these SSDs, you might not even need a cutscene where Crypto flies in his saucer to the different locations. I'm betting they'll still put these cutscenes in like they did with the DAH1 remake, but they'll let you skip them. I believe in the original game, they played that cutscene while the game was loading, so it seemed faster. The new consoles would also eliminate that annoying leash that was in co-op. I know I said it before, but I hated that thing. Something else that would be awesome is to have more realistic destruction, also brought up by Star Wars Josh Smith. It would be cool to just damage specific parts of buildings and then have them collapse on themselves because they're only being held up by one wall. Red Faction Guerrilla did this, and that game was released for the Xbox 360 in 2009. So it's definitely possible on the new systems. Also, Red Faction Guerrilla was open world, so yeah. Now that ray tracing is starting to become more common, it'd be nice to have that in the game as well. The Series X and PS5 can do it, as well as plenty of graphics cards for PC. So it'd just really be a small touch, but it would make the game really beautiful, or even more beautiful, I should say. Gameplay and features. Keep the improvements that the first remake had. PK, weapons, and jetpack all at once, and even keep the dash ability and skate ability, because that was pretty fun. The controls might be really cluttered, but I'm sure they'll figure a way out to do this. It would be nice to have multiple options for Hypnoblast. William suggests that you should be able to hypnotize a cop to lower the alert level. That sounds nice. Starbonnie suggests that the old PK system should return, where you can move objects closer and further away from you. While I'd like to see this happen as well, I don't really think it will happen just because of how much freedom you have with the game now. Maybe they'll do something, but I don't know what. Speaking of PK, I want the ability to drop stuff on people. In the DAH remake, if you drop, let's say, a car on a person, it just bounces off of them. In the original game, they get crushed. The same applies with bumping people into the object as well. In fact, in the remake, they phase through it, like a ghost. I get that having PK be like that would probably be too OP, but come on, there's a gun that summons meteors. How much more OP can you get? For body snatching, I hope, and a lot of fans also hope, that we get to use the weapons of the person we disguise as. Another thing William suggests was airborne combat like helicopters and jets. That'd be pretty cool. Another small feature that would be pretty cool is to have Gastro target specific enemies. So you fire him off with the gun, then you press the trigger again while pointing at somebody or a car, and Gastro will prioritize that person to be destroyed. The DAH remake did not feature any cheats. The devs said that it would mess with the achievement system. Now, most games just disable the achievements, so maybe they couldn't figure out how to get that done, but maybe they'll figure it out with this one. It also seemed that the cheats made the game glitch out as seen on a live stream by the devs. There's also a trainer mod for the PC that allows cheats, and also developer console on the PC that lets you spawn things in, use cheats as well, and even more. But that is just for the PC version, and it would be nice to have it on all versions of the game. Now, some of the cheats that I thought of were unlimited ammo, health, cloak. You get the idea with that. Big head mode, low gravity, NPC brawl, where all the NPCs will start fighting each other, kind of like how the Saints Row cheats was. Every time someone dies, they explode. Michael Bay the human cheat. Wait, what? Michael Bay the cheat? Tiny humans. So now Crypto is the tall one. Sticky PK. This one would be like Katamari. So when holding something with PK, if something bumps into it, they'll get stuck to that object. Now, maybe they'll just actually put that in the game as a feature. Who knows? Full alert meter at all time. That'd be pretty fun to have. No matter how much you hide, they'll always find you. No matter how much you hide, they'll always find you. They should also add a clone counter since the first remake didn't have one, and the other games in the series did. Another thing that would be great to have is police chatter when the alert goes up. The remake for DAH 1 did not have this for some reason. Another thing that I think is just a bug in the remake is when you're in the open world, the music doesn't play. Or I think it does actually, but then when it stops playing, it doesn't just repeat. So that's another thing that they should work on. So that about wraps up this video. If I have any more ideas after this video is posted, I will put it in the comments section in a pinned comment. Links to the tweets in Josh Smith's article are linked down below. I will see you in the next video, whenever that may be. And hopefully we see a remake of DAH 2. Goodbye.